Hello, welcome to Talking Rubbish Recycle Content, where we recycle the most useful bits of the weekly podcast. Join us as we discuss the process of recycling our waste. Are certain items rubbish or not? And we get to answer weekly listener questions. I'm James Piper, author of The Rubbish Book, and I'm joined by Robbie Staniforth, my far from rubbish friend. I think we decided I was going to be dressed as an aluminium can, you were going to be dressed as a plastic bottle. We're going to raise money for Waste Aid. Hey, if we get in, that's what we got to do.
I just cannot imagine myself running a marathon. I think 10K is about the longest I've ever done, and that was a struggle.
Well, we'll call it walking rubbish.
Very good. Okay. With a pun, you can get me in. Very good. Very good.
I watched people grabbing bottles to take a drink and then throw them down onto the road. And I was thinking, how is this going to work in a deposit return scheme? So again, another deposit return scheme question that I'm hoping my policy expert can answer.
Yeah, well, this is one that's pretty straightforward. I reached out to someone who will remain anonymous. More to come on anonymity in the next section, actually. They say that it will definitely have to have a deposit. The only exemption, and we talked about sizes and shapes and things not being a valid exemption, is if there's a closed loop event where it's genuinely the material can't get outside of the event. Now, we don't know the exact definitions of that and how it will work in practice, but the London Marathon, you can just quit halfway through and walk off with a plastic bottle. So it's not a closed loop event in any way, shape or form. The organisers will definitely have to be charged a deposit for the bottle by the producers of the bottle, wherever they're getting them from, whoever the supplier is. Now, if and how they charge it to the runners to say everyone is going to be supplied with at least 3 bottles of water or 5 bottles of water, and therefore we're going to bake it into your entrance fee, is up to them. They don't have to pass it on as the organisers to the people taking part in the event, but they are going to be paying it themselves up front. So they need to decide, are they going to stump up and swallow the cost of this? Now, it's not free to enter it. So I imagine they can quite easily bake this into the entrance fee because they have so many people every year trying to enter into the event. So I think it might be a moot point, but definitely seeing the plastic lining the streets was a big concern and worry. Just the optics of it. I know it was cleared up very quickly, but it just looked terrible. And we have a mutual friend, don't we, James, who took part in the marathon. He actually ran it ridiculously quickly. He was like under 3 hours.
He did it in 2 hours 50 something. And I said, that is ridiculous. And he went, yeah, I had to go slow because of the heat. That is not walking rubbish.
He did say that what wasn't shown was the gamification of throwing the bottle of water into a giant bin further down the road. And apparently the audience, the spectators lining the streets, would see a runner with a bottle coming towards the bin, and they would do the, ooh, hey, if you managed to throw it in the bin. And so he was too tired to remember whether he got them all in. I think he thinks that he did. So there was a bit of taking care of one's own rubbish, but certainly the pictures did show many, many people probably in dire straits. I know I would be if I was the one running the marathon or even walking it. Unfortunately, just tossing them on the side of the street. And I don't think the deposit return scheme is going to be a panacea that magically sorts this issue out.
So London Marathon did actually give a few interesting comments here, just because you don't need to take bottled water. So if we do get in next year, Robbie, we have to remember this. There will be water refill stations at the start, finish, and at 5 locations along the course. So they encourage you to bring your own hydration vest or running bottle and just fill up at the refill stations. If you do choose to get bottles, then Buxton make the water bottles, or made the water bottles this year. They're made of 100% recycled plastic, excluding the cap and label, which is the usual exclusion. They are collected separately and returned to Buxton to be recycled into new bottles. And these are actually smaller bottles. They're 250ml, specially produced for London Marathon events, which is designed to help save water and plastic by not having them too full.
Oh, because people only want a small sip while they're running.
Multiple times, yeah.
Okay.
But again, because you want it multiple times, like they've put, 7 refill stations in. So let's say you take 7, you're much better off bringing your own bottle. They also provide Lucozade, which are also made from 100% recycled plastic and are also collected separately. And they use compostable cups at the Lucozade energy drink stations. And again, those cups are collected and sent for industrial composting, which is the only time we like composting in a closed loop event where you can guarantee that it will be composted. But yes, thank you so much for that information, Robbie. And that is actually super interesting that they are going to have to pay the deposit somewhere in the chain. I suspect they won't be passing it on, because how will we get our sub 2 hour time if we're having to throw a 20p at someone? It's just not going to happen. Thank you so much for listening to Talking Rubbish Recycled Content. Remember to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, leave us a review and follow us on social media where we are at Rubbish Podcast. These clips come from the weekly show, which you can find by just searching for Talking Rubbish. Special thanks to our sponsor, EcoSurety, and all of you for taking the time to support us in our mission to help everyone to recycle better. There is nothing left for me to say other than see you next bin day. Bye.
Bye.